All right, so Kai Cenat is losing his mind right now, and I think he is going to be part of the stream tonight with Drake. Drake has flown out a bunch of streamers for this event tonight, starting at 9:45, the Iceman reveal. So I imagine he is going to be streaming all the way up until the album drops. Adin Ross, Kai Cenat, and a whole group of others will probably be involved. But Kai Cenat at this point is just a madman to me. I think that very public breakup, combined with all that pressure he was putting on himself during his peak years, finally caught up with him. Once he got to a certain level of financial security, he basically said he did not have to grind like that anymore. I am not faulting him for it, he burned himself out, but he is going to regret stepping back, because you have to milk the moment when you're at the top. New streamers are popping up every single month. Clav is a new one, Larry Wheels, Tekashi is now a full-time streamer, Adrian Broner, Dean the Great. It is a completely different landscape every few months, and none of these people existed in this space not long ago. Speed and Kai were in a lane by themselves, but I honestly do not know what a Kai comeback looks like at this point. Speed does what nobody else does, same as Mr. Beast, very niche, very specific. That is their protection. Now, I know A$AP Rocky and a lot of others are going to be featured on Iceman, but A$AP Rocky has fully leaned into a different aesthetic at this point. Pink bag, fashion shows, I genuinely do not know what is going on with him. And then Rick Ross is out here at Versus starting conversations about Drake, getting asked about it by Ebro, talking about how nobody wanted to see Drake and Losos and how he felt betrayed. But who are you to say that, bro? Your entire public persona was built on a fictional street narrative while you were actually working as a correctional officer. We all love Rick Ross's music. He is genuinely phenomenal as an artist, but the foundation of his image has always been a fabrication. And now he's out here claiming he never sold his catalog, when the reality, from sources I am fairly confident in, is that he did something significant with it, whether it was a loan against it, a lease arrangement, or some other deal. He appears to have used that money to invest in real estate investment trusts, which is actually a smart move. It's similar to what T.I. did, where he pulled money out of his catalog and then tried to buy it back at a specific rate, only for the other party to reject those terms. T.I. is currently in court over that situation. Rick Ross likely did something comparable, just without the public drama around it. But Rick Ross right now is essentially on a campaign to get back in Drake's good graces, acting like he always believed in him, walking back everything he said, and then in the same breath, he's saying nobody fears a Drake album. But if that's true, why are you talking about it? Why is anyone dropping music the same day? Rick Ross's last project with Meek Mill only moved around 30,000 units in the first week. That's rookie territory for someone of his stature. People have moved on. It's hard to pinpoint exactly when it happened, but his fan base is clearly shifted. And this is exactly why label infrastructure matters. Going independent sounds empowering, but maintaining the same energy around your projects without label support is nearly impossible. The relationships with platforms, music video directors, and distributors, all of that is tied into the label ecosystem. You almost need to at least have a distribution deal where they have a financial stake in your success, because these same people can quietly make things very difficult for you if they choose to. Which makes the Drake situation with Lucian Grange so interesting. That underlying tension stemming from the Kendrick situation is still clearly present. It feels like Grange used that moment to send a message that nobody is bigger than the infrastructure. Kendrick essentially became the example used to demonstrate that point. These two need someone in a room helping them reach an agreement, because that kind of friction at that level affects everything around the album. Charlamagne has been consistent as always. He has never been a Drake supporter and has not changed his position, but Lauren LaRosa got on and was openly unimpressed with what Drake dropped first, questioning whether this early release was supposed to generate real excitement. And then there was a DJ, I will not say his name because he gets sensitive about being discussed, who was up there playing the new Drake record, biting his lip like he was personally moved by it. Calm down. Some people take this way too far. But Charlamagne even acknowledged that Drake can actually rap, he just personally does not like him. Fair enough. Mike Will made it, and Young Thug also dropped the Russian Roulette music video, which was pretty decent. And overnight, the chances of Drake saying Kung Fu Kenny on Iceman have apparently spiked, because he already took shots at Kendrick 1 AM in a ban, along with several other people, including Joe Budden, making references to Joe Budden's girlfriend and delivering some pretty pointed bars. Joe Budden's response on his Spaces was essentially nothing. He laughed it off and kept it moving. LeBron got dissed about switching sides, and Kendrick got a few bars thrown his way too. Something about wiping the smug off his face. It is what it is. Pretty standard stuff. We already broke that down in the last video, so I don't want to keep going over the same ground. Ebro and Rosenberg had Jason Lee on, and Jason Lee called Rosenberg a culture vulture directly to his face. They got into it, and what was interesting is that Ebro and Laura just sat there and let Rosenberg handle it alone. No backup whatsoever. You on your own, buddy. Now Maya, and I'm not saying this to be harsh, but being vegan does not appear to be doing her any anti-aging favors at this point. She still looks good, don't get me wrong, but she's only 46 and is starting to look older than that. She debuted a new song on Joe and Jade, and honestly, it wasn't impressive from the few seconds that played. This is what happens when you step away from music for too long. Her last release at the start of the year only pulled around 43,000 streams after 2 months. The collab she dropped about a year ago with 21 Savage only got around 500,000 plays, which for a feature like that is basically nothing, maybe a few $1,000s at most. When you disappear completely around 2003 and just don't engage for 15 years, you essentially start from zero when you come back. No label support makes it even harder. We already covered why that matters. Cardi B reacted to the viral video and said she forgets she's a celebrity sometimes. And then there was a question about what kind of car she was in. Nobody could immediately place it, not even AI, when someone tried to run it through image recognition. Turns out it was a Ferrari Roma in gold. Now, I've actually heard someone say the Ferrari Roma is more of a couple's car, which prompted the question of whether it skews toward a female audience. Ferrari ownership is generally male-dominated according to the data, but I did once hear a Ferrari owner say that a particular model is for girls. Make of that what you will. Either way, it's a beautiful car that most of us can't afford. And Lil Durk got on a phone call that I apparently missed updating on. We'll have to get into that on the next one.